Hi, this is Russell from Low Fruit Solutions, and we're here today for part 2 of author features for Pro Blogger. If you'll recall, in part 1 we did the demonstration of how to include a author box, which was the more elaborate display mechanism, including social media links and HTML email and website address for the particular author of your blog. As a quick reminder, let's just look what that looks like. And actually the one we edited was this one. So we'll just scroll down, you'll see here this little section here that we added and styled. One thing we didn't cover, which we will cover shortly, was how to change the image available to you here. So we're just going to go over to the dashboard, and we're going to click on Online Store. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to make a couple of duplications of the tabs because we're going to need a little bit of workspace. So the first portion I'm going to click on is blog posts. Alright, just going to the blog because we're going to need that for our later demonstration anyway. So let's go to the second tab. In this one, we're going to edit code. So here we've got the now we're editing the debut theme. We're just going to click on Actions and Edit Code. And to demonstrate the image portion, I'm just going to scroll down on this side here and go to Assets, and I'm going to add a new asset. Now this asset is going to be an image file, which I recommend you name the same as the author. Just keep it lowercase or something like that. Keep it really simple. In this case, I'm just going to use this file here called fruit.jpg. Select that. I'm going to replace the existing, so I've already done this as an example. And that is now uploaded into the asset file a folder. And what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go back to the blog, and I'm just going to add the following little piece of text in here. Image equals fruit.jpg. Right, it's going to hit save, go back to the blog, and refresh, and there you go. So that's, now you see that image has been pulled and sized and nicely rounded, right? And that'll now be persistent across anywhere you've used that that image and name short tag. So if you wanted to use a URL, in other words, use a web address, you would just put that in here as well. So it'd be www. Just as an example, fruit.com and /fruit.jpg. That would also pull that image in as an image source and display it. So if you have an existing image somewhere on the web that you use, or a Gravatar image, you can use it that way. For Gravatar, you can actually also even just have your email in here, and it will do the lookup for you. But anyway, that was part 1, and we're here to talk about part 2. Now, part 2 is about author substitution. Right? What does that mean? Well, that means I have, as a working example, I have a blog and I have a guest author who submits an article. Now, I don't want to have to create or pay for additional accounts on my Shopify system for every time I have a guest author. I simply want to change, the who it was done by, and change these details below. And that's what author substitution does within author features, and that's what we're going to be implementing today. So let's go over to the app here as well, because I want to be able to refer to the instructions. Just going to click on Pro Blogger. Obviously, as before, the UAT version here is just because it's UAT on this demo store. Yours will have just Pro Blogger. Right? We don't need to do anything in here. This has all been done. We need to go to install. We've already done the general installs. We're going to expand author features, and we're going to start with the article page. So at the same token, we're going to go back to the code. And if you remember from part 1, in most older themes you will do this in article.liquid, but you'll notice that most new themes use sections now, and you can see this is the giveaway. It says section, which means you should really go to this file underneath the sections area. So we're going to do that, article-template, and according to the app, what we're looking for is we've already included this portion, and we've already done the article content replacement. Just a quick reminder what that looks like. Here's the first portion. We've included the shortcode wrapper, and we've already replaced article dash contents. So the next piece we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing the author article.author with new author. And the reason for this is we want to replace the text. Is the simplest answer. So you can do is you can go into this window if you want to find out where you're going to be doing the replacements. You go look to article.author. See there's one of one entry, and it's right here. Now we would just replace this with new author. Yeah. So I'm going to hit save. Let's see, make sure it's done everything right. Okay, so it's still the same. That's because we haven't specified any replacement name. So this is when we want to go back to the article, and the key we're going to be putting in is name. In this case, we're going to call it the pear man, just because it's an article about pears. I assume that person would know a lot about pears. And hit save. Right, and that's all you need to do in the article. That's done, and there you go. So we've just refreshed the blog, and now we've got by the pear man, right? So that's fine, and you'll notice it's also reflected now in your author box, right? So you've got these two pieces. If you didn't like this portion here, you could just delete it out of the code, right? And in our case, we're just going to do that. We don't need this anymore. In fact, what we'll do is we'll be a little bit smarter. We're just going to change the logic so that it uses the same logic as to display when the author box is displayed. So if author update means that if the app has the author features enabled, then display, right? So we're going to be sneaky here and just say when it's displayed, when it's enabled, not to display anything. Otherwise, we go back to the original code, which is this here, right? And you can leave author, new author in there as well. So I'm just going to hit save, because this seems a little bit, we're doubling up on what we're doing, right? There we go. So now we've got the new name. If we remove that piece there, we could have left it, but it looks a bit cleaner this way. And so that's done for the articles. But obviously, you see it more than just articles, right? What you do is you see, if you look at your blogs in a grid, you will see here there's the author name is also specified. So in which case, we'll see it mentioned in this right here, which is no good then if it says Low Fruit Solutions here and then says the pear man within the actual article. So we're going to go back to the instructions. We can skip this because we've done this. We're going to go updating your blogs, right? So now what it says is we're going to look for blog.liquid, which we're going to do. In fact, we can close the blog piece. We don't need to make any more changes there. We're going to go here to blog.liquid as a starting point, because older themes would just use blog.liquid. In this case, we can see again we've got this little telltale sign at section and block template. So we're going to go down to sections, click on block template, right? And now what we need to do is we need to include this shortcode wrapper for every article, right? So we basically need to do the same logic for every article that is displayed in the blog list. And the giveaway for that is you're looking for something that says for article in blog.articles, right? It's that's the key. That's what you're looking for article in blog.articles, right? And this is the entry. Now you want to do is a carriage return after that, and do include shortcode wrapper, right? And remember what I said about that. This should be green, not black. If it's showing as black, then it's you've got the wrong quote. It needs to be the single quote. Right. So that means now for every article that it displays, it's going to call this particular wrapper, which will do the will do what's necessary to replace the author details. Now if we scroll down, what we're looking for now is we're going to look for our other friend, article dash author, Yeah, and here we have article dash author. We've just got a few here. We've got another for blog as well, for article and blog articles. So we actually, every time you see this particular reference, we need to include the shortcode wrapper. And then we're going to replace article.author with new author. Yep, new author, be more helpful. So we're just going to see if there's any more references. Yep, here's another one. I'll just change that to new author. And that's it, that's done, right? So we're just going to save that. Right. Just going to refresh. And there we go. The name's been changed. Now there's one other little piece we want to do as well, right? Where article content is specified, we really want to replace that with article contents. Why? Because if you've got a very short blog and you've included the short code in there, it's going to be displayed, and we don't really want that. We want to make sure that it looks just like the article content. So we're going to change article.content to article_contents. Let's check to see if there's another one. Yep, just searching on article.content here. Article_contents. And that's done. Save. Alright. We just refresh, make sure that nothing's changed, so it makes it look it's all the same. Excellent. So let's go back to our home page, because there's one other place we need to fix. Where you display blogs on your home page, it's not the actual blog template, right? It's actually another template. So we need to make sure we've also edited that. And this is where I say, the complexity in this particular implementation comes down. It's just a lot of little places to edit, right? In this case, it's going to be a bit of a giveaway. We look in sections. It's called, scrolling down, featured blog. That looks like it would be the right sort of place, right? So we're going to do the same thing here, right? We're going to look for a for articles section. Or actually, let's refer back to the instructions. It's probably better. We actually do have instructions here for updating your featured blog section. And again, as it mentions here, you want to look for that for article.blog.articles. Yeah, so we're just going to search on that. Control F, finding it. Okay, here we go, for article in blog.articles. What we want to do is just return underneath there, and it's a little bit wrong, we'll have to fix that, and we'll just copy and paste the include shortcode wrapper. You're essentially looking for where it goes through article. So if it says for article, this little portion here, that's what we're actually searching for. So if we just do for article again, no, that's it. So we're going to include the shortcode wrapper. Now remember what I said, we're going to replace article.content if it exists. If I can spell. There we go. So we're going to replace article.content with article_contents. Just search again, see if there's any more. No. Good. And now we're going to be looking for article.author. And there is article author here. And we were going to replace article author with new author. Okay, let's search if there's any more. No, so that's done. Okay. Alright, let's just have a quick look, see if there's anything more interesting in here, and I already know, so we're going to save. Right, let's have a look and see what that looks like. And there we go. So now that name will be reflected across not only the home page through the featured blog section, but also the blogs, the actual blog list, and as well as in the blog itself. Right? So we can see here, there we go. Now, if you wanted to utilize this functionality in another blog, you obviously don't need to make all the other changes again. You would simply, I'm just going to borrow the shortcut from the, oh, I clicked on the wrong thing there, clicked on the wrong thing. We're just going to click on, I'm just going to borrow the text from this existing article, so copying that. Now, and this is actually a very good example of if you had the same, for instance, guest author doing numerous articles for you, you would just copy and paste the short code from the other article, or an article they've already done before, like I've just done there, copied, pasted, and now you'll see we have exactly the same detail and information pertaining to this article as we did before, and that is reflected across all the other sections. So I hope that wasn't too heavy for you. Obviously, if you have any questions, etc., please direct to us. We'll help out wherever we can with installs, because themes do vary. And I hope you found that beneficial. Thanks. Bye.